my name is Fila Becken, the Rabbi from Another Planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And it is Christmas week, and I freaking love Christmas. I've always loved Christmas. Now, I know I'm a rabbi. I know I'm Jewish. I know I live in Samaria. But I still freaking love Christmas. Now, here's why I love Christmas. Because I grew up in England. And in England, Christmas is overwhelmingly a secular holiday celebrated by everyone. In England, we have lots and lots of Christmas traditions, which are just freaking awesome. I think you got to grow up with them to like them. Like, the food is fantastic. But again, you try giving an American a mince pie, they will vomit in your face. I'm sorry. Again, it's a Marmite thing. It's something that you got to grow up with. Something else Americans do not understand, and you can tell them over and over again that Christmas is a secular holiday celebrated by everyone and enjoyed by everyone. And yeah, I live in the Sumerian Hills, and I got a bunch of American neighbors, and they see me loving Christmas, and they walk around with crucifixes. Well, I don't know, it's Moggin Davids, Stars of David, pointing them at me, going, "Whoa, what are you doing?" And I keep telling them, no, you don't understand. English Christmas is much more like your American Thanksgiving. It's a cultural event. And they go, yeah, but then they don't understand. Okay, so one of the things that make English Christmas so great is Christmas TV, which is, again, something you don't have in America. I lived in America for about 10 years. It was awful. Christmas, all you had was like sport, and I hate sport. It's my poor father. He bought me and my sister to White Hart Lane to watch Tottenham Hotspur on Saturdays. Those season tickets must cost them a freaking fortune, and we were bored out of our mind. I felt so. Looking back, I feel bad for him, but what can you do? But I was always more interested in Doctor Who. So the great thing about British Christmas is the TV. And in American Christmas, you don't have it, but British Christmas, like in America, you have a Christmas episode. It's in the series like regular run. You might have it like a week before, a month before Christmas, around there, but it's nothing special. In England, all TV stops, like just stop everything, and there's just awesome TV. A traditional English Christmas day is you have a big Christmas lunch, turkey, chestnut stuffing, roast potatoes, Yorkshire pudding, which my wife is making for us on this Friday night this coming Friday for Sabbath, and also Christmas pudding and mince pies, which again, if you're American, you want to steer clear of, but I think they're freaking awesome. So you have your Christmas lunch, and then you watch the Queen's speech like at 3:00. And then there's a James Bond movie on, that was a 1978 Christmas, and it was freaking awesome. But they make this special TV, this like incredible TV over Christmas, and my eyes were like saucers watching them in my bedroom. It's like, I was like, if you ever seen Pulp Fiction, if you haven't seen Pulp Fiction, go and watch Pulp Fiction. Freaking awesome movie. That scene with Christopher Walken, where he comes and meets a young Bruce Willis, like Bruce Willis when he's a kid. And just at the beginning of the scene, he's like sitting there watching TV. You see his eyes like wide open watching this cartoon on a black and white portable TV. It was just fantastic. So that was me. So this year, much like every year, there is some great Christmas fare. Interesting enough, though, the Doctor Who Christmas special is a new innovation. We didn't have that in before 2005. And you know what I really wish that Big Finish would do? Big Finish is the company that make audio dramas. I wish they'll do a box set of Doctor Who Christmas episodes that never were. So they'd have like a Tom Baker Christmas episode or a Sylvester McCoy one. And I would love that. I would so love that. But I doubt they're going to make it. But maybe one day. Never know. Okay, so this year there's some great stuff that I really want to recommend you. The first one is A Christmas Carol. So there's been a long-standing tradition of horror intermingled with Christmas on British TV, and I don't know why that is. I think it probably stems from A Christmas Carol. It was written in 1842, and it's a ghostly, scary story of redemption. And there's a new version of it this year, and there's been a million versions of it. Cartoon. One of my favorite versions, I think my favorite version, I watch it every year, is Scrooge, Bill Murray Scrooge. Just freaking beautiful. I love that movie. So this one is done by Stephen Knight. Stephen Knight is the guy who did Peaky Blinders and Taboo and it's set in like the period setting. So he's got form for doing really interesting stuff in like oldie woldy setting. It stars Guy Pearce, Andy Serkis, Guy Pearce is Scrooge, Andy Serkis, Stephen Graham. Andy Serkis is a Ghost of Christmas Past, I think. And it looks like it's fantastic. I was reading an interview with Stephen Knight about it today, and saying that it's incredible. He wants to be faithful, not really faithful, respectful of the original text. But what he's doing in it, they're really focusing on what made Scrooge into this broken man, this like evil, miserly man, which I think will give his ultimate redemption more poignance, more reality. So that's going to be on over 3 nights. I don't know if Tom Hardy's in it. I heard a rumor that Tom Hardy would be in it, and if he is, I don't know what role he'll play, but that'd be absolutely fantastic. It's going to be on FX in America and on BBC in England. Starts on Sunday night, goes Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, takes you up to Christmas Eve. I will be reviewing it. I am so excited for it. I really hope it's as good as I hope it's going to be. Then also on Tuesday night, there's something called Martin's Close. We have another horror tradition, Christmas tradition in England, where they make horror stories from M.R. James' make like half hour to an hour horror one-offs from M.R. James stories. They mostly set them in present day, but they set a few of them in the period setting. By the way, if you're Big Finish as well, has a great CD of who was it reading M.R. James stories? It was David Soul from Starsky and Hutch doing Edgar Allan Poe, and I will look it up. I will look it up as I'm talking. We'll go bigfinish.com. Because this is one they don't advertise anymore, and it's a forgotten gem. Was it textbook stuff? Here we go. Look at that. I found it really quite quickly. Casting the Rooms, and also by M.R. James. So who read it? Read by Andrew Sachs. So you probably won't know who Andrew Sachs is. You ever saw 40 Towers? He was Manuel, but he's got a wonderful voice. Although the other one I just mentioned with David Soul, the Edgar Allan Poe ones, they are fantastic. So anyway, so we got a new one of these Emma James stories this year. This has been resurrected by Mark Gatiss, who we'll be seeing in a minute, who's also got another great horror thing coming on this year. He did one a couple of years ago. So yeah, if you can find these old 70s ones, they're fantastic. 70s and 80s, they're really, really chilling. They're done on a minimal budget. They're they're just like these creeping stories that get under your skin, and they're wonderful. Alan Moore wrote a really good Christmas horror story once. If I can find that, it was in Dodgem. He did a magazine called Dodgem Logic. If you can find the Christmas issue he did, it's worth it for that short story. It's brilliant. I wish somebody would do a audio reading of that. You know what? I have a friend who's got a great audio voice. Maybe I'll get him to do a reading of it, and I'll put it out on the channel. Can I do that? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I can. That'd be awesome. Anyway, so yeah, the tradition of doing M.R. James stories. There's been so Mark Cat has resurrected a few years ago. Did one called Tractus Meadow. It was pretty good. It was like the ones of yore. But I'm just really happy down the back. So this year it's called Martin's Close. It stars Peter Capaldi, and great actor. So I can't wait to see it. Then on the 26th we have Wurzel Gummidge, a new version of Wurzel Gummidge. Wurzel Gummidge, if you don't know, is about a scarecrow that came to life and made friends with a couple of children. Ooh, actually sounds kind of like a weird paedophile porn setup, but no, it's not like that at all. So Wurzel Gummidge is famous for me because he was brought to life by John Pertwee after he finished Doctor Who. It's a character he loved and adored. He chased this character, and his version of it was all his own. This version is by Mackenzie Crook, who also chased and loved this character. Mackenzie Crook were on Pirates of the Caribbean and The English Office. In The Office, he played what's the name of the character? The arsehole character. In the American version of Office, his character was played by another guy whose name I can't remember, but he's the one who went on to play Harry Mudd in Star Trek Discovery, who I know it's a controversial point of view, and I really hate Star Trek Discovery, especially season 2. I liked his version of Harry Mudd. Anyway, so that's Mackenzie Crook. He's written, directed, and starring in it. It looks really weird. It looks really like spooky, but it's supposed to be funny and light-hearted as well. It's going to be nothing like the 70s version with John Pertwee, and I'm really quite intrigued to see what's going to. Oh, Michael Palin is in it as well. I think playing their version of the Crow Man, the Green Man. Michael Palin from Monty Python, of course. But then January 1st, we get the things the thing I'm looking forward to the most, which is Mark Gatiss's and Stephen Moffat's Dracula. Now, Gatiss and Moffat, obviously from Doctor Who, but also from Sherlock. What made Sherlock was so what created Sherlock? What made it so great was this. It wasn't so much their deep knowledge and understanding of the source material, which bled through every pore of Sherlock. It was an amalgamation of their interpretation, their impression of Sherlock Holmes. So that mainly came from the Basil Rathbone Sherlock Holmes from the 60s, and also the Jeremy Brett Sherlock Holmes from the 80s. So the Basil Rathbone Sherlock Holmes was set in present day, set in the 60s, which is why his Sherlock is set in present day. In fact, Gatiss and Moffat, the idea of their Sherlock happened when they were on trains to Cardiff for their writing for the first and second season of Russell T Davies's revival of Doctor Who. And they said, it's so annoying that nobody's ever done a modern day version of Sherlock Holmes like those wonderful Basil Rathbone ones. And they just got annoyed that nobody did it. And then somebody's going to do it, and we aren't going to get the chance. And they said, well, why don't we just do it? And that's why they did it. So they got the present day setting from that, and they got the deep accuracy from the Jeremy Brett version. I see. And so now they're doing a version of Dracula, which is taking pretty much the same methodology. It's not just coming from a deep knowledge and understanding of the source material, even though that will bleed through every pore of it, just like it did in Sherlock. It's coming from their impressions of Dracula, which is mainly like the Christopher Lee Hammer horror Dracula from the 60s. So yeah, because in the book Dracula can go out in sunlight. There's no cape. He's like a disheveled old guy. So they went for the very. They got all the everything you expect to see with Dracula. They in the interview I was reading with them today. Both this was in this month's SFX magazine, which I was this close to cancelling because they were getting too woke. If they are fawning over Star Wars or the Jodie Whittaker Doctor Who or Picard, and they're also awful. Yes, that's it. You've had your lot, SFX, but you've earned your pay. You've earned your cover price this month with these two articles. I read this interview and the one with Stephen Knight, and they were saying, people we want to give people. They don't want to subvert expectations. Subverting expectations makes people upset. They were talking about James Bond movies where he doesn't say the name's Bond, James Bond. You walk out feeling cross when you don't get that fan service. But fan service without what's I was going to say, without substance is nothing. Fan service without substance, that's the Rise of Skywalker. This is fan service with substance, with an understanding of it. So it's going to be reverential to the book, accurate to the book, but it's also going to fill in things that weren't in the book. For example, Dracula had crossed the Atlantic in this boat called the Demeter. I think it was the Demeter to get to England, and that's like a 2 or 3 page passage in the book, a diary of how everybody's just getting wiped out one by one until the boat pulls into the harbour with nobody alive on it. I think that's what happened. Or just him and Renfield. I really can't remember. So that's kind of glossed over in the book. But that's going to be an entire episode. That sounds fantastic. Their choice of Dracula is, again, they say he's like James Bond. And do you know what? The more I think about it, I would love to see Gatiss and Moffat do a James Bond. Wouldn't that be freaking incredible? Because there's going to have their love and understanding of it, and their love of it growing up as a kid, which is mirrors my love of James Bond movies. Yeah, again, James Bond movies so Christmassy. You would watch them right after the Queen's speech, after having a good Christmas dinner. Um, so yeah, so we're gonna have this Dracula. How many episodes is it? Is it one episode or two? I'm trying to look. Set to premiere January 1st. 3 episodes, and it looks like it's going to be on Netflix internationally. So yeah, so that's what to look forward to. Also, as a companion piece to that, Mark Gatiss is doing a documentary called In Search of Dracula. So this will be the third of these documentaries he's done. He's done a documentary about horror movies, which is really really good. I'm in the mood. That was another Christmas thing he did, so I'm actually going to be in the mood to watch that. And he did one other documentary, I think 2 or 3 part documentary about science fiction movies. Also great. So yeah, he has really good form with these documentaries. And yeah, if you can find it, they did this radio documentary about Target Books, Target Books were the imprint that did Doctor Who books in the 70s, which was that's before people had well, I was going to say the streaming TV, but before people had VCRs. Once Doctor Who went out and the episode finished, you didn't see it again until you got these Target Books. So here's a fantastic documentary. No idea where maybe you can find it in BitTorrent. I really it's called. I think it's called From the Outside. It was an Ordinary Police Book. I really recommend it. So I recommend all these things. I'm really excited for all these things. I'm going to be reviewing all of these things. If there's anything you would like me to watch, there's anything you would like to know, just let me know. Put a comment in the comments. Please like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and have a great day. And have a great week. It's Christmas, everyone. It doesn't matter if you're Muslim, if you're Jewish, if you're Christian, if you're an atheist. Just be nice to everyone. That is what Christmas is. Have a great day.